This is the platform where the continent stars of tomorrow announce their arrival. Every 2 years, this piece of silverware becomes the centre of attention for Asia's under-17 players. This is the AFC Under-17 Championship. The 12th edition of the tournament is already underway in the island country of Singapore. China are the defending champions, and this year they are touted as the favourites for title number 3.
We are not under any pressure. This team is different. We have different coaches looking into this championship. For us, the important thing is to play well and perform to the best of our abilities.
Based on Group D's lineup, China and Syria should progress to the quarter-finals without much hassle. Both countries locked horns at the Bishan Stadium in their opening fixture. The Chinese found the Syrian defence a tough nut to crack. It took them all of 89 minutes before finding the breakthrough. Wang Yangxin claiming their only goal of the match. China securing all 3 points against the West Asians. Next up for China at the Bishan Stadium was Vietnam. The Southeast Asians had earlier defeated Bangladesh 2-0 and were looking for a similar result against their opponents here. Vietnam got off to the best possible start. In the space of 3 minutes, they were 2 up. First, Tran Viet Trung fired the Vietnamese ahead on 29 minutes. Then, on 31 minutes, Dao Ngoc Phuoc gave his side a 2-goal lead. By now, the Chinese bench were looking worried. After the break, China reduced the deficit. Wang Yunlong making it 2-1 via the penalty spot in the 64th minute. But their respite was temporary as Vietnam restored their 2-goal advantage 9 minutes later. Wen Van Tran putting his name on the score sheet. All that hard work was wasted in the last 11 minutes as China sparked a remarkable comeback. 1 second of the night put them within 1 of Vietnam. And super sub Ma Long secured a point for his country with the equaliser right at the end. A great match for the neutrals, but cracks were beginning to form in the Chinese camp. The defending champions had to put on a consummate performance against Bangladesh to dispel their critics. They took a while to settle down, but when they did, the floodgates opened.
好球，球进了，2比0。好球，好球，3比0，又是高迪，这是好机会，打门，漂亮，球进了，漂亮，5比0，好球。
It ended 5-0 to China. They demolished the South Asians to book their ticket to the quarter-finals. It was do or die for Syria when they took on Vietnam in their last Group D match. The Syrians must win to secure a second spot and progress to the next round. They did just that, albeit leaving it very late to wrap up the points. Substitute Mohamed Midou broke the ice on 80 minutes. Before Ziad Ajou sent the Vietnamese reeling 3 minutes later. So Syria through and Vietnam left to contemplate what could have been. Here's how Group D finished. China topped the proceedings with Syria joining them in the knockout stages. There was a slight shake-up before Group C got underway. Laos were suspended from the tournament following the confirmation of age falsification in their squad. This meant only DPR Korea, Myanmar and Saudi Arabia were left to contest the 2 quarter-final spots. Saudi Arabia have an impressive record in this tournament, having won it twice. The last time they lifted the silverware, though, was in 1988. The Saudis came to Singapore well prepared, but they're not giving anything away.
Okay, our target, I don't like to see, we like to be Asian champion because I don't like to put too much press of the players.
From the start, Konzi's charges were tested by the top teams. In this case, Saudi Arabia faced 2004 runner-up DPR Korea in their opening tie. Both countries played tentatively for much of the first half, the opening goal arriving just 3 minutes before the break. Captain Anil Bomb Scorcher separated the sides at half-time. The Korean lead didn't last long when play resumed. Barely a minute into the second half, Fahad Al-Dosari levelled the score. Then on 57 minutes, Raki Falatar completed the Saudi turnaround. It was a lead they never relinquished as the Kingdom started their campaign with maximum points. The Koreans were hoping to bounce back from their opening day loss. And they did just that against Myanmar at the Jalan Besar Stadium. The Southeast Asians outclassed by the North Koreans. Final score 6-2 to DPR. A win for Saudi Arabia at the Bishan Stadium against Myanmar would guarantee them and DPR Korea a place in the quarter-finals. With that in mind, the Kingdom tore through the Southeast Asians' defence. A fantastic performance from the Middle East nation. They ran out worthy 5-0 winners over hapless Myanmar. No surprises in Group C then. The Saudis and DPR Korea sealed their place in the last 8, as expected. So China and DPR Korea square off in the last 8 while the Saudis take on Syria. We'll find out who the other quarter-finalists are later in the show.